His Christmas Muse by J.J. Ranson. Chapter 2. Sylvie. Tiny white droplets slid down my kitchen window. I hadn't noticed them as I pecked away at my laptop until the ping of sleet made me look up. I'm finally seeing snow, the mysterious white stuff I read about as a kid in Birmingham. Alabamians know nothing of snow, let me tell you. My fingers flew over the keyboard. I grinned at the screen as I reviewed my potentially witty response to Joey Runs with Scissors on the dating platform I recently joined. I clicked send, then rose from the stool and pushed it under the granite countertop, which currently served as the desk of my home office. I stared down at the street traffic below. The morning snow would soon keep people home. Friday's labor stalked the hearts and minds of Richmond's workforce, but if the snow kept up, I heard it might thwart their efforts to get into office buildings. Southern towns struggle to manage snowfall, so I've learned from the news anchors. The glass gave off a chill, and I shivered. Before the pale gray atmosphere deepened my already anxious mood, I speed-dialed my best friend back in Birmingham. "Sylvie, why are you calling during work hours on a Friday? What's wrong?" Angie's bubbly chatter always makes me smile. I loved my talkative friend. So grateful for how Angela to her mother, fills uncomfortable silences when we're out with others. Small talk and girlish chatter aren't my style anymore. I'm the queen of awkward pauses and saying the wrong thing. And this runs completely counter to my cheerleading days. My mother and sister were both cheerleaders. As a toddler, I mimicked my sister, Constance Miller, waving stringy pom-poms and kicking my legs. Apparently, I had been coordinated, so Mama decided we were definitely a cheering family. Eye roll. I always liked sports and physical activity, so I just went along, pleasing Mama. Now, there's the one true path of least resistance, until, of course, I got an interesting gift from Daddy's sister, my Aunt Carol, for my 12th birthday. It altered my teen years in ways I still feel today. "Angie, it's snowing here. Can you believe I might see my first white Christmas?" Not that I really believe that would happen. Weather people are notoriously inaccurate, and Christmas was still a month away. That would be almost as surprising as you having a boyfriend during the holidays. Angie laughed at her own joke, knowing full well she was the only one who could get away with saying such a thing to me. "News on that front. Wait, what? You have a boyfriend? How'd you get that far without me knowing? I cannot believe you would hold out on me." Wait a second. You're joking, right?" I flopped onto the black leather sofa, tucked my feet under my fluffy white throw, and settled in to share the whole truth. Nothing but the truth with Angie. The nature of our relationship was facts, facts, and more facts. From me, that is. Like a tormented teen, Angie enjoyed throwing in a lot of feelings when she shared her stories about work, love, and everything else. Feelings from Angie were fine, but my feelings? No. Please do not make me talk about them. Well, actually, no boyfriend, but I've got 2 dates planned, and I already had one. What? Why am I just hearing about this? I brushed my dark blonde bangs out of my eyes and leaned forward off the sofa to check my hair in the beveled mirror that hung over a dove gray console table. My hair needed a trim, but I'd been too busy lately to think about making a salon appointment and would never get one now with Christmas so close. I'd just have to be Shaggy Sylvie this winter. Good heavens, Mama would have a kitten if she got a glimpse of my poor grooming. I wonder if I should grow out my shoulder-length hair and just trim the bangs myself. I pursed my lips at my reflection. Would Mama notice at Christmas? "Yoo-hoo, Anna Sylvester!" I imagined her staring at her phone like our call cut off. I hesitated to tell her about Tim, as he now calls himself. She had such romantic dreams about me and Tim back in high school. She lived vicariously through whatever boy angst I experienced with him. Both of us had mostly crushed on boys, getting little attention in return. Angie had been a little pudgy, but so pretty with her dark curls, enormous brown eyes, and perfect skin. Not much dating action, though, until we got out of high school. She really blossomed in college. Working at her family shop and commuting to college created enough stress She lost the 15 pounds she'd despaired over for years. She cut her hair into a gorgeous layered bob and became the toast of campus. I couldn't keep up with her dating escapades during her senior year. She'd majored in business at Birmingham Southern, where Tim played football. Our freshman year, she updated me on his activities, but I lost interest in the gossip. And Timmy. An unrequited crush on another business major had diverted all my attention from the value of an old familiar beau. I'm still here. Well, you see, I met a guy last night for dinner. He'd rescheduled once, so I didn't want to jinx it. Oh, this sounds good. I'm all ears. From the online dating site, yes? Yes, all three. Who is this new Sylvie? Her high-pitched voice tinged with amusement. Do you want to hear about last night's date? Yes, spill it, girlfriend. Remember Timmy from high school? Of course I do, but what? He was my date last night. Angie huffed on the other line. He's in Richmond? Apparently. So that's strange. How'd it go? Is he still gorgeous? Angie giggled like her 16-year-old former self. At first, my brain was yelling, no, no, no. I mean, Ange, no date since I've been here and Timmy shows up? What kind of sick joke is that? The universe is against me. For real. Thanks for your support, my friend. Oh, hey, I didn't mean anything by it. Just agreeing with you. Give me details. How'd the date end? Did he ask to go out again? I suppose he did. In my head, I replayed last night when we left the restaurant, and he walked me to my car. The vapor lights on the street had just started to flicker on as darkness settled in. Timmy looked kind of happy to be around someone familiar. He'd said he didn't have much of a social life, even though he'd been unflirtable since the summer. Had I done anything to encourage him? I hope not. New city, new life, new man, right? You suppose? Well, he mentioned getting back in touch with me, on the side anyway. I did not offer my phone number. Yikes, what are you going to do? Go on 2 dates this weekend. Fingers crossed. I closed my eyes and took a deep, hopeful breath. Something had to click in my personal life. I'd been alone too long here, away from the family and always missing my dearest friend. I miss you, girlie. Tears made my voice shake. Oh, man, I sure wish I could be there with you this weekend. This will be magnificent. I held up my hand like she was there in the room. Hold on there, little lady. I sounded like my dad. Just first dates, that's all. Remember, probably will be a bust. Let's just wait and see. I chewed on the skin at the edge of my thumbnail where it felt rough. I don't believe it. We're only 32. Being an old maid is not in your future, nor mine. I shook my head and gazed at my outstretched hand. The nails were different lengths, and what was up with my cuticles? Good grief. All work and no play had wrecked my grooming habits. I wish I had time for a manicure. My hands are atrocious, like I've been scrubbing floors or something. I'm a real Cinderella here, ha-ha. If Mama could see me in this terrible condition, she'd fuss a blue streak. Hang on. From across the miles, Angie whispered to herself as she typed on her phone. Okay, here's a place near you. They take walk-ins. Call 'em. My phone dinged as her text message arrived. She'd sent me a screenshot of the nail shop a couple blocks away. Thanks, Ange. You're the perfect personal assistant. How should I pay you? Ah, gee, that's what friends are for. What are you going to wear on these dates? Are you going shopping? Want me to come along, virtually? I have opinions. Don't I know it? Stretching at my waist from right to left, I watched the snow and sleet hitting the floor-to-ceiling glass window across from me. I hadn't thought much about what I would wear, other than my top color. Each date had agreed to wear red so we could pick each other out of a crowd. I couldn't imagine wandering up to each table with a single man asking, Joe? How embarrassing. You've gotten quiet. You won't back out on these guys, will you? Simple meetings, right? Last night was a fluke. It's all good from here on out. Right, right. I nodded while I went to the window to peer down at the traffic. I counted only a few cars, so perhaps people were hunkering down as the snow accumulated on the roads. Wide black tire tracks were bordered with glistening white snow. I might get my nails done, but only if I walked to the shop. I really didn't want today to be my first day of driving in snow, not with so much ahead over the next few days. Sylvie, you still there? Oh gosh, yes, sorry. I was looking at the traffic and thinking about my nails. You'll be happy to know I'm considering your advice. For a change, LOL. I swear she slapped her leg. She really is a hoot. After Angie filled me in on the Birmingham gossip, we ended the call and I got back to work. I plowed through a long list of emails and polished up 2 reports started by others on my team. I struggle with perfectionism. Well, that's not entirely true. It's hardly a struggle, since I excel at being picky. I embrace perfection as often as humanly possible. I reviewed and heavily edited the reports before I sent them up the corporate food chain. My boss expects nothing less. This will be my second Christmas in Richmond, Virginia. I came here July of last year to establish a Mid-Atlantic office for the Nashville-based strategic planning firm I work for. Gosh, the heat sweltered when I moved up here. Not that Birmingham or Nashville are known for refreshing summer breezes, but that middle weekend of July had felt like someone cranked up the sauna. Even my usual cool-as-a-cucumber mother had damp spots on her blouse. I mostly do marketing consulting. I also manage a 22-year-old straight out of local university who is trying to break into the field. Manage is a weird term for our relationship. We meet virtually, and she's attended only one online meeting with me and my boss. Mindy is a nice kid. Smart, too. She keeps me on my toes. I only wish she could write worth a crap. Not having to edit her work sure would save me a ton of time. Business has been almost booming in my little startup office the past year, after a draining and dull initial 6 months. Between rescheduled meetings with potential clients and then that first Christmas holiday, I feared getting fired. I hadn't delivered a single client contract to Patrick, my boss. He was the one who pushed for patience, to my immense surprise. He was usually so hard-charging and greedy for results. Most days I wanted to cry when nothing happened, or a scheduled meeting fell through at the last minute. Things will shake loose, just you wait and see, he'd said often enough over the phone. Doubting that Patrick's patience would remain steadfast for a second year, I began staying up late into the night, searching for potential clients on the internet. I had to play the odds with the numbers I erroneously believed. What I needed to do was build relationships, which I'd learned in grad school at Vanderbilt. Still, earning an MBA seemed like wasted years when I couldn't get a client to return my calls. Cold calls. Oh, I hate making them. That's all I did at first. I'm pretty outgoing, but connecting to someone brand new, well, it challenges me. It's probably easy breezy for a few people, but I will never be a member of that special clan. Instead, alone in my apartment office, I practiced in front of a mirror, introducing myself while I smiled and held out my hand for the required handshake. I kind of got good at it. Patting myself on the back is also part of my office shtick. There's no one else around here to squeal, "Good job, Sylvie." The second week of January this year, my ringing phone jolted me out of a document review at 10 in the morning. It had to be Patrick, calling to pull the plug on this disappointing dud of a project. "Hello," I answered, stomach twisting itself into a knot. "Yes, hi, I'd like to speak to Miss Bradley." "Oh, hello." I hit my head with my knuckles, knowing I should have answered with an appropriate businesslike greeting like Monsmont Consulting. I was so used to 6 months of unreturned calls, I'd forgotten how to answer one. "Miss Bradley, this is John Jamerson over at Assurian. Returning your call. Sorry we didn't connect in December. Holidays, you know." "Thank you for calling me back, Mr. Jamerson." "John, listen, I read your company's profile. We may need your help. When can we meet?" The sound of rustling papers filled his silence. "Hang on, I'm trying to find my day planner." "I have some time this Thursday morning or early next week," I offered, fingers crossed that he'd pick Thursday so I could file a report on Friday. "Do you mind coming to my office, Sylvie? Thursday at 10? Absolutely. Do you have any specific questions or projects in mind so I can come prepared? Nah, let's just chat, see where things lead. Okay, I'll be there the day after tomorrow. Thank you. I clicked off the phone and fist pumped the air. My second appointment in months of churning the soil here. Mossmont seeds might take to the Virginia clay and finally bloom. That call inspired me to plow through my contact list again and do some second and third calls to companies who needed our help. Isn't that how John Jamerson put it? As the new year rolled on, the frozen business ground began to soften enough that several times a month I had a presentation to prepare or a prospect to meet. Back in Nashville, Patrick was so buoyed by the success he started talking about finding office space. But I had grown attached to working at the counter in my kitchen, so I put him off with a promise of late. I threw myself back onto the sofa and adjusted the blanket. My naked toes still tingled from the chill they'd caught by the window. The coolness made me wish for carpet instead of the polished cement that was so popular in these downtown lofts. Should I put a fur rug in front of the living room window? I chuckled at the image of a bear rug in my apartment. No way.